This is Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY. It's sponsored by Independent Bank. Every weekend, Saturday morning at 8:30, we talk about things going on locally in the community. My co-host is Katie Huckle. And did you know, Katie, that we have our very own local Shark Tank?
Well, I'm learning about this. There's some firecrackers in the studio this morning.
We're learning as we go this morning. So Lindsay Hartsock from Staffed for You is here, and the pitch at Shark Tank is her. Would we call this your brainchild?
Yeah, I would call this my little baby.
This is your baby.
Yeah.
So this is your second baby because the first one happened about a year ago.
Exactly.
And so here we are talking about a bigger, better, hopefully bigger event.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it's bigger. So our capacity itself alone, we're going to be able to house twice as many people, but then we're also adding speakers. So we have guest speakers this time, whereas last time we had just like the pitches, which was awesome, right? But now we're adding some more speakers to add some more value, so people are walking away with some education too, with professionals in different expertise areas.
And booths. Right?
Yeah. So we have vendor booths also. So we open it up to those locally. So we have some small businesses coming in and showing off their products and services. It'll be really cool.
And you got a professional radio MC working for you.
Yeah. So Dean actually agreed to come out there, and he's with 96.7 The Bull, and he's going to be professionally emceeing. I did it myself last year, and I was, I did it, but
you did.
You got through it. Yeah,
you got through it. But was it too much for you for one night to handle the hosting duties and everything else too, or?
I did it.
Okay.
Fair enough. But yeah, it was tough. It was a lot, and there were a lot of things that same thing with this event, you put it together and then you identify like ways where you can improve, and that's where we're improving this year is having somebody solely dedicated to that role.
And you brought one of your Shark Tank judges with you today, Midge Nixon, who we will talk to in just a little bit. But I wanted you to talk about why you're doing this. What's the inspiration behind doing this for Cadillac?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that because there's so much inspiration for me to be able to do this. Number one, I'm just passionate about small businesses. And then being able to have something here to bring all these like minds together. Number one, I was looking for like a really cool networking opportunity here locally. Okay, I wanted to get to know other business owners, and there just wasn't anything around that was fun. I've been to a million conferences, and no offense, but a lot of them are really dull. And so yeah.
Sorry, burst out laughing.
She's laughing because she's probably been to her share of banking conferences that are absolute barn burners, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you learn stuff. Like there's a lot of like great speakers typically, and you're learning, but like really relationships and like honest collaborations are really developed, I found, in those relationships, which are more formed through like everyone's coming together for this same reason to support these young entrepreneurs. We're all going to have that in common in the first place.
Right. And
then we're all going to get together and we're going to talk about casual things, and then relationships are going to be formed, and then business deals are just naturally made that way.
So it's really your idea just to get the business community together and get everybody away from behind their desks and out and seeing each other face to face.
Yeah, and we're actually talking about adding more value. We're going to have speed networking, so it's an after party too, right? So we have this after party after the pitch at Shark Tank, and it's speed networking. So imagine you have like 10 people on one side of the table, 10 people on the other side of the table. Everybody has business cards, and there's a 5-minute timer. So they start the timer.
So it's like speed dating, but without the romance.
Exactly. That's the way I described it. I was going to say it, but yeah.
I'll just kick the door right in and say it. Okay, so it sounds like it's going to be a really fun night, and we've got to tell you, it is tonight, and it's where?
Yeah. So it's actually at the Venue Event Center.
Okay.
So it's right behind the truck stop. If you haven't been there, they have concerts there all the time. It's an awesome venue, totally new construction, and they've been doing some really cool things to it to modify it in recent months.
So can you give us an idea for someone who's never seen Shark Tank, a listener that maybe has never seen the show? Tell us about kind of how the evening will go and what you can expect as an audience member.
Ooh, yeah. So So for someone who's never seen Shark Tank, so there's the OG Shark Tank, right, where you have people pitching their business ideas, and then you have investors who are giving them deals. So we have, I think, 6 judges on our panel, and they're all open to investing in the right opportunity. No matter what, though, they're going to be giving away $500. So the winner's going to walk away with $500. But the actual structure of what's happening there at Pitch at Shark Tank, we're going to introduce the pitches, or the entrepreneurs that are going to be pitching their pitches, and then there's going to be speakers intermittently throughout. We've kind of have them staggered, so it gives them time to set up, and then we have a speaker, and then we have somebody setting up, and then there's a speaker.
So are they bringing, some of these folks are bringing props with them, and so they've got to do a setup, a whole, kind of like they're bringing set pieces.
Yeah, so at the last event, people definitely brought props and setups. A lot of them have presentations too. The winner last year, which was Steel Grip Sam, they had it was really heavy, a whole setup, because what they do is they create they invented and patented this mat that goes on the roof, and so you're not going to slip when you're on this steel roof.
Wow.
Which, yeah, it's really cool. And they have it in some really cool places at this time now, but yeah.
And that idea was hatched right here in Cadillac, or close to it.
Close to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to have you hand the microphone over to Midge Nixon. And Midge, how did you end up becoming a judge? Were you a judge last year?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So
yep.
this
I
is
was
your
part of
second
it last year.
Okay. So you must have had fun last year because you came back.
It was a blast.
Okay. Why? Why?
Just the networking, the camaraderie, the just the conversations that are happening around you. You're just growing, and then being able to offer information to other people and help them grow is it's super rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of on the spot.
Question: in your eyes, for it to be a success, how many people would you want to be in attendance?
I'm thinking 200 people.
Wow.
We would love to sell it out. The last one sold out. And so 200 people would put us at max capacity.
Okay. And in terms of if you do buy a ticket, do you eat there? Is there food available? What does that look like?
That's a really good question, because this year we're actually we have it catered by the truck stop.
Nice.
Last year we didn't offer any food they could order from the truck stop, but this year it's totally catered, which is awesome.
Good. Well, what's on the menu?
Whatever they're offering.
Whatever they're cooking at the truck stop.
Because the truck stop food is so good. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love their food. But it's going to be like buffet style.
Okay.
And the tickets are $15.
Oh, wow.
And you're getting dinner,
Right.
like a whole show, your networking opportunities. So try to really make it affordable for everybody to come.
How many people signed up last year? How many people signed up this year?
For tickets?
No, to demonstrate to pitch their product.
Oh, okay. Well, we narrowed it down last year from about 30 down to top 6.
Okay.
And this year we had about 15, and we narrowed it down to top 6.
Okay. So you had a group that got together and said, okay, maybe not this one might be more viable than the other one. So yeah, and that had to be a tough decision.
That's what the Sharks did. So they all came together and they reviewed the different applicants that came through, and then we narrowed it down, and then we announced them.
What is the secret sauce to getting through to the top 6?
Ooh, I would say
Which doesn't want to
Maybe
give
there
away
isn't a secret sauce.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, is there a spot? Like, is this going to be really good for our community? How is that going to affect people around? Things like that.
Meaning,
is this unique?
Is there a need?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it unique?
Okay.
Things like that.
So everyone in the business community that's on this judges panel is looking to see if it can fill a niche, maybe?
Yeah.
That kind of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Incredible.
It sounds like so much fun. Do you have to make this, Lindsay, an annual event? This is number 2. So what's your goal? What's the end game for this event?
Yeah, I think definitely annually. We were trying to see if we could pull it off semi-annually. So we're kind of still playing with that idea, but definitely annually.
Okay.
And the award, the cash award, where does that come from?
That comes from fundraising.
Okay.
And donations.
Okay.
So Pitch a Shark Tank is 100% nonprofit. So we try to make money where we can. We're going to have raffle. We're going to have how else? We take a lot of sponsors, a lot of sponsorships also. So those have been a huge help.
Okay.
So I understand we're going to be hearing from a very young entrepreneur at the event, and Natalie's with us in the studio. Natalie, can you tell us a little bit about, first of all, how old you are, and then secondly, what it is that you sell?
I'm 11 years old, and I sell slime and bracelets, and I got started when I was at a little campground, and I was just making slime with my friends, and we decided to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm really excited to be an inspiration to all of the people at the Shark Tank event.
You're not afraid of hard work, are you?
No.
Tell me about your jewelry making. You said you've got your jewelry for sale in town.
Yeah, I make a lot of bracelets.
Okay.
I make slime and bracelets, and I sold my bracelets to Chunky Bear Coffee Roasters downtown Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Wow. And so when you first decided to go into business at the age of 11, was it you knew that other kids wanted this stuff and that you could sell it?
Yeah.
And it started at the campground?
Yep.
And then it grew to school and Chunky Bear and...
Yeah, it's been growing a lot over time, and I've been putting a lot of work into it, and I love doing it as like a hobby with my nieces and nephews, and I always try to find great spots to sell. I just pretty much do it for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
Why slime? Is it a Nickelodeon thing?
No. I just, when I was little, like 3 years old, I would make slime all the time. And then my friend was making slime with me one time when we were at the campground. And we were like, and then other kids came up and they're like, can we have some? And I'm like, sure. And they're like, we'll pay you $5 for it. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So,
Light goes on.
Love it. That's incredible.
What's the prime ingredient in slime?
glue.
Okay. I don't want you to give away your recipe, your secret recipe or anything like that, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she exemplifies that Oprah Winfrey saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's incredible. It's kind of teaches the rest of us that we hope we're smiling when we go to work every day like you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay, why don't we talk a little bit about, before we circle back to the event itself, what your regular day job is?
Sure. So actually, I am HR and marketing and recruiting consultant. I own a recruiting agency here locally, and we actually have an office downtown Mitchell. But yeah, that's kind of my day job.
And tell me about how rewarding that is to lead people to careers. That's got to be the best thing about what you do.
Yeah, I really love it. I love being able to help people to find the jobs that they're looking for, and employers on the employer side too. So employers are looking for help, and a lot of them think that, maybe I can't afford help, and we make it affordable. So we're kind of bridging that gap to where, again, like a lot of employers just think that it's out of their reach to hire help with recruiting, and so they kind of allow themselves to suffer, and they don't need to. And so it's definitely very rewarding to be able to find that match, find something that's going to work for the employee and the employer.
And there are quite a few people in that space in Cadillac. So what makes staff for you different?
I would say our structure is very different. So a lot of people are going to temp agencies, and we just totally do not believe in that. So staff for you and temp agency do not go together. No, not at all. So we're direct hires only, right? And then we also make it affordable. So we kind of integrate the. So a lot of people a lot of companies go to the temp agencies because they think that's the affordable and temporary option, right? But a lot of people are looking for short-term work, but they don't want to be a temp employee. You know what I mean? So we can still hire for short-term work, but we're not going to be leasing out anybody. I feel like there's a real ethical issue with leasing humans. So we definitely are just more dedicated towards the direct hire side of things only, and then just the affordable option, right? So my experience, I would say, is very extensive. My background's in HR, not just recruiting, and so I tend to understand people pretty well and understand a little bit more of the dynamics than if my experience were just recruiting. But yeah, I would say just making it affordable for employers and specifically small businesses, because I've worked for large organizations, and you know, when they're able to afford really good services. How do I say this? So large employers are able to afford recruiting services, right? Where small businesses, again, they think they can't afford recruiting services, so they don't go there. And a lot of these recruiting agencies charge way more than they need to, right? So, I mean, we can still be successful as a recruiting agency and charge a quarter of the cost that typical recruiting agencies are. It's like they're all kind of competing together, and then they're price gouging employers. And so when I saw that, I said, well, we need to do something about this. And so we just started doing it, and yeah. And I have experience recruiting on the technical side. A lot of my work is actually out in Maryland too, and I recruit for top secret SEI, full scope poly clearance technical individuals, like software engineers, system engineers. So they're really challenging. So when you take the same sourcing tactics that you use for those really challenging positions, you can apply them to positions here locally. I'm not saying they're less challenging, but you can use those tactics to find really almost any position.
Lindsay, where are you from originally?
Originally, I grew up actually in Everett.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not far at all.
No.
Just 30 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and I'm smiling, Lindsay, because you talk about you having a background in both human resources and recruiting. And I think one of the reasons why that's so valuable is you know how expensive a bad hire can be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Turnover is super important. So if you're watching the turnover rate, you want to make sure that you have a low turnover rate, which is how much time they're spending in employment, right? If you have somebody who's coming in, they're going through all the training, the process, they're wasting valuable resources if they're quitting 2 weeks later, right? And so the cost of that hire drastically increases, and you have to repeat that. So being able to find the right candidate in the first try, or, you know, making sure you're spending the time to make sure that that candidate is the right fit. That's what's really important.
Back to the event and all these business people and entrepreneurs and go-getters being in the same room. I feel like this is the right audience to ask, what does Cadillac need?
Ooh, there's so many things we can add to Cadillac, and I love Cadillac. That's why I spend so much time. I feel like all my extra time goes into supporting the growth of Cadillac, just because there's so much potential for Cadillac. There really is. I would say, what do you think, Midge?
Well, while you're coming up with your answer, you're off the hook with, we know we need more daycare. We know we need more housing, this kind of thing. We know we need more help for mental health. I'm talking about maybe businesses or fun things, or what are you talk to a lot of people. Even I want to know what Natalie thinks, but what do people want that we don't have?
I think that what you see a lot of is we want to do more stuff with our kids. And downtown has been doing a great job, like adding more events on the weekend in the downtown park and things like that. But I think there's just and there's some new businesses that are downtown, like there's a gathering space, a gaming space, or whatever. Okay. But I think that we see a lot of that, like, somebody please bring something where we can take our kids.
Okay.
I just heard about that today. Somebody told me that that would be awesome if Cadillac had a coffee rainforest cafe or something, like a.
Oh,
You know what
Natalie
they're
is
talking
nodding
about?
her head.
Natalie, do you know what that is?
We
Yeah.
all love the rainforest. cafe.
Yeah. So I don't think it was the Rainforest Cafe that they were referring to. It's just more like a forest cafe that you walk in. I guess there's an area for the kids.
Kids to play.
Yeah, and then
Parents together.
you're getting your coffee. So I was like, oh, that would be fun. So maybe something like that. But yeah, I totally agree.
What do you think about that idea, Natalie?
I love it.
Okay, tell us why. Because you're going to have a different reason than an adult would. Why would you love something like that?
Because when I was little, my parents used to take me, and it was like my favorite thing because all other restaurants are like kind of boring to me. But this one is so cool. It has so many cool animals in there, and it's really a special spot for me that I get to go on in the special occasions.
Oh, wow. That's a treat. Yeah. I love it.
All
I
right,
love it.
there you go. Potential investors in the Cadillac area. You've got an idea right there.
There you go.
Yeah. Midge, let's talk with you just a second. And while we're here, we might just as well rely on your realty expertise. So let's take a few minutes and talk about what the market's looking like right now. While you're here, even though it's a bit off topic.
It's definitely picking up. I just posted the other day on my Facebook. It was 11 o'clock at night, and of course I'm still working. So I'm just checking, hey, what happened today in the market, and I open it up, and 215 homes or land, whatever, went pending, which means that's getting ready to close. That was 2 days ago. So yeah, it's picking up quite well.
Geographically, 215. And what geographical area are you talking about? Just around the state, or?
So I was looking at our Aspire board, which is the northern part of lower Michigan, in the central area here too. Not all the way north. There's another board that's up there. But so our area, Traverse City's in it, here, a little bit west, and of course a little bit south.
But that's a lot of real estate action.
Yeah, I would say
that.
so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it related to the mild weather that we're having? Is that contributing to this?
I absolutely feel like because the market always picks up in the spring, right?
Right.
People are getting ready to move. The sunshine definitely has got the phone ringing with a lot more buyers.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And we just had a small price drop in interest rates. So, and we're expecting to see that to continue to happen a little bit. So it's going
Okay.
really, really well.
We're happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's always good to have an active market. All right, Lindsay, let's circle back to this event. Give us the who, what, where, when, and why, because this is something I from a just a citizen standpoint, I would like to go and just see this happen.
Me too.
So give us the details.
Well, guess what? Anybody can go, which
Okay.
is awesome.
$15
Yep,
Family friendly.
It's $15.
It's tonight.
It is tonight. It includes dinner.
What time does it start?
Doors are going to open at 3:30.
Wow.
The event's starting at 4. So if
Okay.
you get there at 3:30 and kind of check it out, get some food, check the vendors out, maybe get some raffle tickets, and then get ready for the show.
And this is interesting because last Friday, I went to Kalamazoo. I took 2 of my students down there, and it was a personal pitch contest where they were supposed to sit in front of a group of judges and talk about themselves and why they were an ideal fit for this fictional job. But still, it was a mock, not necessarily interview. And that's kind of what this is. So that these people are, even though this product is very real, they have to sell themselves and sell an idea and sell a product.
Yeah, this is actually a really great opportunity not to just sell your idea to the judges, but also the community, right? So some of these are existing businesses and some of them are totally new.
Okay.
And if they're existing, they can gain some more traction for what they already have started up. And that's what we wanted to do, is really be able to help these small businesses, whether they're not yet started or they're having maybe a slow start. or they're just looking for more traction. So this definitely opens them up to opportunities, potential investments, potential partners, sparking the discussion about their business, what they got going on, which I feel like is super valuable and can take them in so many different directions.
Midge, real quick, I want to, because you're a shark, I want to know what you're looking for. When these folks pitch and you've got your notes and you're making a big decision that's going to impact their future, there's some money on the line here. What are you looking for?
Well, we want to know that they kind of have a clear plan, obviously. And that, like I said before, for me, when I'm looking at it, just because it's the type of person I am, how is this going to help the community? Or, what services is it providing? How does it help with that? Is it different than everything else we have? Is it the same that we have, kind of thing? What kind of benefits is it going to bring? Things like that.
Okay. How important is sustainability? You have a job, you have an idea, but how important is the sustainability aspect of it?
I think it's really important. It definitely is important, especially if you're going to be putting your own money into something. It's got to be something, one, that you believe in, you stand behind, but you got to have the confidence in the presenter that, there's going to be some sustainability with that.
The thing that's kind of unsaid in all this that needs to be said more and more is, let's talk about local business. Let's talk to local businesses. Let's talk to up and coming businesses. And the rest of us need to support these businesses and keep our dollars spent locally.
Yes.
Or we won't have restaurants and things to go to. I mean, it's just such an important reminder. Thank you, ladies, for your leadership with this, because it's a reminder to all of us. There are people that need us to spend their money local so that they can raise their families here.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, Lindsay, last chance to sell it. Why should people come tonight, this afternoon?
They should come tonight, this afternoon, because if they're looking for a good time, they know where to be. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be valuable. Whether you're a community member or you're a community member and a business owner here locally, it's going to be something that you can bring your family to. You can listen to the pitches, hear what the judges have to say, listen to the speakers, have a nice dinner, kind of just chill and, bring your family. Have a good evening.
We can see how passionate you are about community. So it's very important.
Absolutely. And Natalie, I can't wait to interview you on this show in 10 years and see what else you're doing.
Maybe
the sky's the limit.
Maybe you'll be on slime at that point. But who knows? Maybe you will be the best slime seller in the United States. Who knows?
Don't bet against her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I really want to make my business a lot bigger, and I think I have a dream. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a lot of work, and I'm going to make it happen.
Incredible.
Every business started with a dream.
That's right.
Yep. All right. Well, Lindsay Hartsock and Midge Nixon and Natalie, thank you all for coming in and being a part of the show, and we look forward to hearing about what a smashing success this will be this afternoon. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're excited.
Cadillac Unscripted is sponsored by Independent Bank. Join us next week, same time, same station, for some more local chat here on 106.